Welcome guys, my name is Anita and I'm from Flowerfolk Farm and this is my little piece of heaven. Well guys, it's been a really busy month and so much has happened. I just wanted to share with you some of the things that have happened for the month of March and just show you some of the seasonal changes that are going on in the flower field. We are moving into our autumn here in Australia and that means starting to plant out our cool hardy annuals. I'll show you some of those and you'll also get to see just some other things that have been happening in regards to our weather and weather events. I have also had the awesome privilege of being able to go to a couple of garden events and I thought I'd share with you just some highlights from those. What's happening, Sadie? Oh, you're a good girl, aren't you? Sadie's looking after the chicken. Good girl. Oh, yeah, nah, this isn't going to happen. She's so quick. So we are at the beginning of April and we're still getting loads of colour. You can see here in the top end of the flower field, Carlos Buckajo watermelon. Very beautiful. Still plenty of buds on that. Florally Haley down in there. Florally fruit tingle. This one is Glenmark Dahlia. Briannon. Loads of gorgeous chrysanthemums are just starting to pop. Beautiful white ones. These are all from my bestie Cathi and she gave me these from her garden. They were all for free. She just didn't want them anymore, so we've planted them up here. They are just fantastic performers, so I'm really pleased with the colours. Look at that. And I think there's pink ones down here. But look at the dahlias. I mean, it's still going strong. I'm so surprised at how well it's all going. For this time of the year, it's incredible. This season, although it was a really rough start, my goodness, it has just performed so well. And we're just getting so many beautiful colours. So all things considered, I am giving thanks because God's really just enabled us to have an awesome season and I am very grateful, very thankful for all of this. It's been pretty amazing. Well guys, here are some highlights from the 2023 Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show. As you can see, it was just amazing. Just chock-a-block full of inspiring blooms and floral design. And this is actually held once a year at the Carlton Gardens in the exhibition building, which is located in Melbourne, and it highlights local florists but also emerging designers, wedding planners, and really gives you lots of inspiration for your own work. As you can see from these beautiful creations, it was a pretty inspiring day, and I was just so blessed to be able to go along to this with some really amazing friends. Some of them have YouTube channels, and if you want to check below, you'll see who they are. But we just had an awesome day together and just celebrated friendship, but also the beauty of gardening and flowers. Of course, Melbourne put on some pretty awful weather for us for the day, and we got totally saturated, but it was all good fun, and as you can see, we were all smiling. So here's the gang here, and yeah, wow, what a day. Unfortunately, not long after that, we had a severe thunderstorm warning, and it kind of went downhill from there. So this morning we've actually had a really chaotic morning. The sun's out now, but we woke up this morning to a really serious thunder and lightning storm, which took out our power and lasted for about an hour and just basically caused carnage. Gave the garden a really good water, but it's not exactly what we want, because unfortunately what's happened is we've now got a bushfire that's 6 kilometres away. So I've just come out the back to have a bit of a look, and we've got quite a lot of smoke blowing in. The fire is over that way, and you can see there's quite a lot of low-lying smoke. It's not coming up overly well in the filming. I'm not sure they've actually got it under control yet, but I'm hoping that because it is wet underfoot, that might go in their favour. That's my ladder there. I use that to harvest my blue gum that I've got growing here, and that actually got knocked down in the storm last night. Okay, so it's been an hour and I've just been and checked the fire app, and the fire is now safe. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about fire management here on our flower farm. We have had some serious fire threats here. We actually live in a really high risk area. We are on the cusp of a bush area. So just behind us here is the Brisbane Ranges, which is renowned for bushfires. We have actually had a really serious bushfire here, and the fire came up to within 50 metres of our back fence, and it was pretty scary, and we had to have the Elvis helicopter drop water over us, and that was about 7 years ago, and that put the fear of God in us. And thankfully we had a fire management plan, and when we actually moved into this area, we sat down with the CFA, who we have a really good CFA. Most little small country towns do. But they sat down with us and we drew up a plan with them, because we're not equipped to fight fire. There's a whole lot of things, infrastructure you'd need to put into place to do that. So we decided that our plan is to leave. We enable the stock to be able to move. So we actually move the stock. But the bees I've had since we've done that. So we need to look at something for them. But everything else we have accounted for. The only issue is, of course, my little flower field, which is just going to be open to the elements, unfortunately, if we were to get a bushfire through. It's been really hard to get insurance for our flower field because we live here and also run a business from here. So that has posed some issues around insurance. But these are all the things you need to factor into doing this sort of small business, is fire threat and, you know, insurance. Insurance companies are fine until you need them. And then, you know, you have, you know, all sorts of headaches and loopholes. So, but yeah, I do advise, if you live in a small place like we do in the country on the edge of bush, it's very important to sit down with an expert, a CFA consultant, and actually do a fire management plan, so that you have some sort of planning around your flower field, your home, your animals and livestock. And that's really important, because when push comes to shove, like today, we had a fire 6 kilometres away. You know, you got to be ready. Thankfully, it's wet today. We've had a storm come through, so you know, it's not too dry. But I tell you what, it moves really fast. And if there's one thing we've learnt in Australia over the last decade, it's that our fires, and I think across the world really, our fires are getting next level. And you don't want to muck around. You want to be ready, and you want to have plans, and you need to think about your business and your flower farm and all of that. and you need to have appropriate actions in place ready to go at the drop of a hat. Cathi and I have just found an apple tree on the side of the road. It's huge for scale, but the fruit is amazing. Let me show you. We've harvested some and it's actually ready for eating, most of it.
We've harvested some into our mouths.
Well guys, it is a beautiful autumn day here in Victoria, Australia, and I'm outside doing some harvesting, and I thought I would show you a quick little hack that I've just recently learnt. For any car enthusiasts out there, you might know what this is. This is what you put down inside buckets to keep your sponge off the bottom of the bucket and keep it clean. And I've noticed a lot of dahlia growers are using this inside their buckets to put their stems down through. And what it does is it acts as a bit of a protector and keeps your dahlias upright in the bucket. These are available from car shops. I'm not affiliated with any, but I just thought it's a really good little hack. And for those of you who are harvesting a number of blooms in one go, it definitely works. So give it a try. So there you go. You can see the inside of the bucket. It just sits on top of the water, and you can see how it keeps the stems upright and stops the blooms from getting squished and bruised. So the only thing I am finding with the bucket insert is it's fine for stalks that are generally on the slim side, like it just sort of, they go in quite easily. But if you've got a bloom that is a little bit chunkier in the stem, you can see it's just not going to fit through. So you might just have to put it through either one of the bigger holes like that, or just have a second bucket on the side. You can see what I mean by they just get squished. That's what I'm trying to avoid. So it definitely does help. You can see it really separates them and keeps them tall and stops them from knocking each other and bruising. Oh, that Carlos Buckajo watermelon. Love. Wow guys, I am up in a place called Colac today, visiting an open home where they are showing their dahlias today, and I thought I would just show you a little bit of a view of what they've got growing. I'm here with some friends and we are in heaven. Look! Whee! Gosh, they're big, aren't they? Oh my goodness. Oh my word. What is that? Well guys, this morning I had Hugo here and we had a few extra hands to help, and you'll notice that behind me things are starting to look a little bit different this time compared to my last video. Now you'll notice we've done 3 beds here, replanted them with all our seedlings that I've been sowing, and you saw those in my last video where I was talking about our cool hardy annuals. They are now in the ground, and I've also got another bed up there done. Now, just earlier in the video I was talking to you about insurance. Now, we have had to really choose our insurance carefully here for the flower field, but I wanted to talk to you about some other insurance that you could also take out, and that is in terms of netting and infrastructure to help protect your flower field. This is just some netting that I get from Bunnings. You could actually put hoops up to go over this. However, I've just done stakes. We have had some storms recently and I had to do things in a hurry, so I've just really gone ahead and used stakes and they work fine. The other insurance policy you can always think about is a polytunnel. Now, I built this after last January we had a horrible storm and I lost my whole flower field to hail. So this was an insurance policy for us to be able to grow some higher end flowers in and know that they were safe and protected, and it's been awesome. Now, of course, if you have the budget to really spend some money on sort of building infrastructure within your flower field, I actually think it's probably one of the best things you could do. I would do that in a heartbeat because it really does protect your crop for just a one-off investment of money. So have a think about that, just whether it's with netting or you can get plastic. You can use both, so you could use the netting during summer and during winter you could use the plastic to go over little hoops. But you know, have a think about that. That might be something that's within your budget. For me, this is how I'm doing it and it's working well, and the polytunnel there in the background has been a really awesome addition as well. So something for you to think about too. Well guys, that's a wrap from us, and we just want to say a huge thank you for watching and for joining me in this flower journey. It is so good to have each of you along for the ride, and I hope you've all had an awesome Easter. Until the next video, take care. Bye. Mwah.